We are in Unit 7. This is Learning Objective 6. Learning Objective 6 is to solve problems using molality, molarity, mass, percent of a solution. Again, all of these formulas that I'm going over are on the back of your periodic table underneath solutions. So your capital M, your bolded capital M, is molarity. Your lowercase bolded capital M is molality. This is parts per million, parts per billion. The one that I do not have on here is percent mass. That is your mass of your solute over your mass of solution times 100. So it's the same formula as parts per million and parts per billion, except for it's not times 10 to the 6 or 10 to the 9. It's per 100. Molarity. We call these solutions molar solutions, and it's abbreviated as a capital M, and it's bold. Bolded, capital M. This is moles per liter of solution. You're going to pay attention to that. That's solution, not solvent. Your formula, moles of solute over liters solution. And remember, your solution is your solute plus your solvent. And this is equal to molarity. Okay, so be able to convert between moles to mass to moles, depending on like if you're asked about mass of your solvent that or solute that can dissolve or that is dissolved, that type of thing. Your second one is molality. We call these molal solutions, and it is a lowercase bolded m, is your abbreviation. This is your moles of solute per kilograms of solvent. So just the solvent in this one, not the solute, not the solution. Your formula, moles of solute, kilograms of solvent. Again, usually your solvent's water. And this is equal to your molality. All right, so the one that is not on the back of your periodic table is your mass percent. And this is percent M over M. You can also have a volume percent, which would be your percent V over V. You can also have percent volume by mass, which would be your volume divided by your mass. And this is usually number of grams of solute per 100 grams solution. So again, remember your solution is your solute plus your solvent. Your formula for mass percent. Again, if you want to put this on the back of your periodic table, be my guest. Do it. Okay, so mass percent is equal to mass of solute over your mass of solution times 100. You have very dilute solutions. Part of the reason why I go over very dilute solutions is because your water company will release a water quality report. And in order to be able to read that water quality report, you need to know what these terms mean. So for very dilute solutions, we have you can have 3 different types. You have parts per million, parts per billion, and then sometimes you have parts per trillion, depending on like how dilute you are. Parts per million is going to be a little bit more concentrated than parts per billion, and then parts per trillion would be very, very, very teeny tiny amounts. So ppm stands for parts per million. Now a million is 10 to the 6. So this is the number of dissolved particles in 10 to the 6 particles of solution. Again, parts per billion would be more dilute than parts per million, but it's ppb. So parts per billion is going to be 10 to the 9. So this is a number of dissolved particles. in 10 to the 9 particles of solution. And again, this has the same formula. So your formula for these guys is the same. There's your mass of solid over your mass of solution. Your difference in your formula is this would be 10 to the 6 for parts per million, and this would be 10 to the 9 for parts per billion. So you are going to have to calculate with these guys. On these example problems, I'm going to do the odd problems, and then in the even problems we'll do in class.